And talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Every discussion from experience, and hopefully within it delivers some deliverance. It's all facts and opinionated, from the west where that real spit originated. Brothers truly trying to save a soul, provoke thought so we can really designate a goal. We on that grown man scribble, the ball in our court with command on the dribble. This is something that'll help us show, cause it's something that'll help us grow. We see exactly what the people need. Now welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Welcome to the show, Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Learn to listen when it's grown man talking, cause real spit you don't find that often. Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Oh, Mitch. Spitt'n Pollaseedz. Thank you for joining us today for Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Spitting back on you.
How you guys doing today,
Man, lovely.
Lovely.
Good to see you again, bro.
Man, good to see you, man. I was out last week, but thank you guys for coming in. Come on in, sit down if you want something to eat. Is there something in the refrigerator? I think we got something in the refrigerator. We got a little something in the refrigerator. Don't mess with the kid snacks.
Okay.
Yeah. Kid snacks. Don't mess with those.
No.
Baby sleep.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, we just had a guest on. Trevor brought a guest that came. He's not here now because he brought some gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
The gumbo was so good, we sent him home to go get some more.
Yeah, go get some more of that.
I ain't even lying. He bought
some more of that.
Yeah, he
Bring
bought
that
us
back.
some samples.
Ran it back.
And we need some examples because that sample was too small.
Yeah.
Too small.
Yeah, you might want to give your man a shout out.
Man, we appreciate Brother Will from Better Than the Rest Gumbo. If you guys want to get in contact with him, that would be at Better Than the Rest Gumbo. I know you guys seen him on Facebook, and he also was in the one of the first annual gumbo competitions, and then now he's going to be setting up. He was at the first. Well, I'm sure there were other gumbo competitions, but
Here in Inglewood, let's say that.
I'll say that.
Yeah, he did not look 300 years old.
Was he in the competition with Jesus?
But he was in a competition earlier during the summer on Father's Day, and then he's going to be at Taste of Soul this upcoming, I think, October.
Do you know his Instagram? Because that's what he
Better Than the Rest Gumbo.
Better Than the Rest Gumbo.
Better Than the Rest Gumbo.
All right. When you come back, we'll get it. Get his information.
Get it.
We'll post it.
We will
post it. We will post it.
Yeah, man, but let's kick it around. Trevor, how was your week?
Since we last saw each other, I had a birthday.
You did.
And, I did. I had a birthday, and I enjoyed it. I kept it simple.
Right.
It was just me and my daughters. My oldest daughter cooked for me, and my youngest daughter, when I went to go pick her up, she had on the cutest little dress and some little boots, had her hair braided or whatever else. Mm-hmm. And she did that for me, and I it touched me. Mm-hmm. So my birthday was nice, laid back, relaxed. I went out with Irv on Saturday.
Is that where he took you to eat the hot dog?
No, that wasn't it. No, that was on Monday.
Okay.
We went to this spot called Hats. I don't know if you guys been to Hats in Pasadena, but we went to Hats.
Okay.
Hats pastrami, me, him, and Desmond.
Yeah,
and,
Hats was cool.
So I had a very laid back, relaxed. I also enjoyed the conversation with my parents and my brother. So we just fellowship, had a drink. And that was about it, man. I kept it simple. My oldest daughter cooked some food. My youngest daughter ate too much. So it was simple, man.
That's good.
That's a good birthday.
Yeah, another year around the globe, brother.
Yeah. Happy Solar.
Canoe, your week, buddy. How was your week?
Thus far, it's been going good there. Great chat. Okay. Can't complain. Could be better.
Let's make it
you know
things.
we're gonna do here, and we're gonna eat some more gumbo. And I'm here with Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Hey, man.
Sir.
Hey,
Yes,
Kevin.
sir. Man,
Kevin,
I can't complain. This week been good. It's a lot of things. It's just like I told you, trying to keep the wheel to go round and round. So I'm cool. Good. Some things, some great things coming.
Hey,
yes, that's what we like. Great things coming.
Great things coming. My week has been good, and I'm just happy to be here with y'all. So let's, Canoe, let's get into the subject, man. What is the
topic of today is women. Watch your mouth. And I ain't playing either. Watch your mouth.
Women watch your mouth.
Women watch your mouth.
MOUF?
Yes. Mouth. How women emasculate men. That's the topic of the day. If you want to get out your pencils, pad, recording devices, this is the show you don't want to miss. Come right on in.
I see you dressed for it. So little girl, you better not say. Yeah,
I will slap you.
Pink.
I will just backhand and get you. What you say?
Okay, that was him.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Kanoom's views don't necessarily reflect the views of the other hosts on the show.
We gonna play this by ear.
They scared
and proceed with caution.
They scared. So it's basically women don't know how harsh their tongue is. A man can withstand a whole lot of things, but a woman know how to cut him down and make him feel smaller than small. And we as men, we don't want to deal with those type of women, so we're straying away from them. Because emasculate means to castrate your manhood.
Yeah.
So
is it a particular woman that you said we're straying away from them? What is
the women that tend to emasculate men? Okay. There's several ways that you can emasculate men. We can get into it a little bit. I have my notes here. But
what is
just a man? You belittling him, and sometimes in public, sometimes in private. But it's just like a nagging woman. It's the litany of things that they could do to destroy a man's self-esteem.
Litany, yes.
And
you prepared today,
and we all probably experienced it, and those probably the women that we did not choose to be our women or our wives, because I think women aren't today taught how to talk to men. They're not taught how to treat us and care for us and stroke our egos a little bit, you know. But I just want to go to the first. Let's go to the first clip, and you know, women below the belt, and tell me if y'all like a woman.
No.
Oh yeah, you do. Because if you talk to him like you should talk to a man, you should know from a safety standpoint that you need to keep your mouth closed. See, when two men are talking, there's a low-level threat of violence. If I'm sitting here talking to a man, I know there are lines. I can't cross certain lines with any man. I don't care how big or small he is. After a certain line, we're gonna have to shoot the fair one. But you will go damn well low because you know good and well he ain't gonna do nothing. Because if you talk the way if you argued with him, if you argue with a woman the way you argue with him, would you and that woman end up in a conflict?
Possibly.
Yeah, there you have it. You know, I think if a woman knows how to do a man, you would lower the domestic violence. Not saying that the man should do anything. Being allowed to a woman to push his buttons is, you know, it's not indicative of a man that has control over his emotions. But it's there. I think they can curtail those type of things happening just by, you know, using caution when they're speaking to someone, especially when you're hitting below the belt. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Somebody hit below the belt where, you know, like, okay, that was harsh. Have you experienced that?
I think I think every man has experienced it, especially when we were younger, because there are a lot of times that we don't necessarily, oftentimes in our community, we don't have of conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever there is a young man, especially when I think a lot of us were younger, a woman will say some things to us and demean us and say some things like, if you were a real man, you wouldn't ... When in all actuality, they may not necessarily have a father figure or a man in their home. So for a woman to gauge what a real man looks like or the characteristics of a real man, that was, in my opinion, that was a dart that they threw at us, especially when we were younger. And as a result, we ended up trying to prove ourselves or prove our manhood openly, when in all actuality, everyone in the whole circle was kind of lost, and we are still learning. So, you know, whether it be in a relationship or whether trying to attempt to court a woman, meet a woman, or whatever else, when they were rude to us or when they were mean to us, you know, some guys would automatically say, bitch, whatever, bitch. And it's like, not that, but he doesn't have emotional IQ. He's still learning himself. And then she'll say something rude and mean, not knowing how he's going to respond or act. But she may feel like, you know what, I got some false protection or whatever in that moment, and still diminish the character and the spirit or ego of a lot of young men growing up.
Yeah. Well, what about you, EP? You know, you're a dating expert. I've been around you dating when we were young, and a woman could be fine as all, like get out, but the words that come out of her mouth could destroy your affection for her.
Well, hold on really quick. To answer that, the way I deal with that, are you asking how do I deal with it?
How do you deal with it?
Happen? Of course it has happened, but I don't tolerate it at all. It will end almost whatever type of relationship. Because disrespect, it only elevates. So to even address us in a harsh manner, like we're not equal. So
yeah,
our resolution, like he said, it varies. You know, it's really different. So I don't know. I've always had a problem with how somebody talks to me and how they actually, like, we were younger, bro. Like, we were younger, and then I'll tell you a quick story. I got sent to the county jail because a lady tried to disrespect me just by her words. She worked in as a clerk in Inglewood Police Station. We got pulled over, young, early 20s. They took us to the station, and the lady was just talking to us crazy, and I couldn't take it. And she said, "You better shut up before I send y'all to." On it, and they one by one they took the homies out, and I'm still sitting there like, and I heard her on the phone like, "Yeah, if you get him here by 1 a.m., we'll take him." So off to the county.
Off to the county I went, based on just disrespect and me not being able to just control myself when it came to her just talking to me any kind of way. So I do anything to mitigate that from happening, or I just separate myself from that because it never ends well. Yeah. Have you ever taken? You, Kevin, I know you probably never taken any disrespect, but sometimes it's subtle. It could be like nagging, like she doesn't believe in you totally. That could be a form of emasculating you. Have you ever experienced that?
Well, just like you brothers, I have. And I mean, back in the day, like you said, we were young. I used to go word for word, you know, because we gonna see who gonna win this. You know, since you started it, then, you know, and you're trying to hurt me, well, shit, I'm gonna hurt you too. You know, I'm gonna hurt you right back with words, you know. But as you start getting older and you start experiencing more relationships, then you like Herb said, I just won't tolerate it. I won't deal with it. I'm not going to deal with it, you know. So yeah, I experienced it, but like now my tolerance is really low, right? Any of that, especially your mouth. You know?
And it's for women too to implore you to don't have these type of nagging or just disrespecting your man because you might lose him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You might lose him because they said a man will tolerate it as long as he can, but he
right.
Those words that's rolling off your lips, he's not gonna forget.
Never. And then some men, and I mean some women may say they're not men, but some women will lose teeth in the process.
Well, Canoe said it in the beginning.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Hey,
watch your mouth.
Canoe said. You see how I set that up? Canoe said.
That backhand.
Yeah. So if you're watching, call in. If you have something to say, call in. Leave a comment. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good because we're gonna tell y'all something.
Tell y'all the truth.
We're gonna tell you the truth. So don't make us. Don't make us go there.
What do you guys think started it? What do you think the root of it is? And what do you think it stems from?
Lack of respect.
Lack of respect. There's an influx in women being affluent and feeling like they don't need. When they start making the independent woman. Come on, I'll just say.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
The modern.
The modern. Wait, hold on.
You don't think it started before that?
Hold on.
He need to loop his.
I'm trying to get where he is. So does this make you talk clear or stumble on your words?
Why do they feel emboldened?
I mean, power.
The laws has changed.
Yeah, and power. I would just say power. Okay. Power. When some people get money or status, and they feel like they don't need to do certain things that they had to do when they were dependent on.
Okay. Why?
Well, you know what, Keith. I just want to. That's she's gonna be coming. If we could bring Lady Flo in, because she can tell you how. Excuse me. Oh, okay. All right. So Lady Flo can tell us, she can delve into, and Lady Flo, if you can slightly give us your background a little bit so we can just a little bit so we can delve right into the topic of.
I'm trying to get to the core.
Yeah. Why? How you used to emasculate men and maybe don't do it anymore. Go ahead.
I could tell by that her background. No, I'm just playing. Welcome,
Lady Flo.
Welcome. Thank you all so much for having me. Well, my name is Florence Dennis. Everyone calls me Lady Flo. And just a little bit of my background from counseling relationships. I've done a little bit of everything, but definitely working with relationships and then also understanding my process, which better helped me to understand the man, even as according to the word of God. So that's just a little bit about me, real short and sweet. I do a lot of things. We're not getting all into that. I want to get into the meat of what we're talking about on tonight.
Yeah. Can I ask you a brief question? And are you married? Are you single and in a relationship?
I am married.
I have context. Okay, yeah. So I was gonna ask, like, before you got married, did you psychoanalyze your mate and just kind of know things about since you're educated in that field, and did that have an advantage in you being successful in a relationship?
I really studied him to learn him, because what I realized, because I've been in many relationships, all men are not the same.
Amen.
And you cannot put them all in the same box because they are different, And even when I hear that, men are all the same. No, they're not. They have different personalities. They have different structures about themselves, the way they carry themselves, so you cannot put all men in one box.
Amen. And so if Kamala don't make it, I might vote for you. You know what I'm saying?
So tell us about how you emasculated men and how you turned the corner and learned from that, and how your fair relationships better with men right now.
Absolutely. Before the marriage I'm in now, I was married for 21 years and 21. Was with that and was with that individual off and on for 31 years because we were high school sweethearts. And when I relocated here to California, I was actually finalizing my divorce when I met the man that I'm married to now. And been married 2 years now. We celebrated our anniversary last week. I did not have any plans for marriage. Very independent. Still was used to running business, entrepreneur, managing offices, different things like that. So I was alpha female and did not even know what alpha female was until I met the man that I'm married to now. And through this relationship, there was a different process for me. When we would, I'll give you one instance. We were in an intense conversation. This was before we got married. I didn't know whether I wanted a relationship or I didn't want a relationship. I could never figure it out, But I did have this list that if I ever decided to get married again, but it was nowhere in the near future at that time, that I had kind of wrote down the list of the type of man that I desire to have. Needless to say, everything on that list was the man I'm married to now. And what I realized is a lot of times we as women, especially strong, independent, and it's only because we were in survival mode, because we had to do things, because we had to make it happen. I realized that I was not built for what I desired to have. We say we want a man to take care of us. We say we want a man to lead. We don't want to do everything all the time. We want him to be able to handle this, handle that, and then a lot of times as alpha females are not built for that type of man. And I'll give you, an example. He's my husband now would always say, I'm a man, Flo. I'm a man, Flo. I'd be like, he'll be taking care of something, and I just jump right in, or I'll run off and do something else and take care. And he's like, I'm a man, Flo. And so one day we were in an intense conversation. And in an intense conversation, I was all up in his face, just like going in, and so he's standing there. So we're head to toe, like face to face. And it came to a point that because he's not one of those men that actually put his hands on women. So it came to a point that he was so fed up. He just went crazy talking to me like, you bought your nappy head such and such down here, thinking and just all in me, like really harsh. And I literally sunk in when he began to speak that way, about me and at me. And I just sunk in, like, you gonna talk to me like that? And, tears started rolling and all of this stuff. And he looked, and he just was still up in my face, just going like, and I'm like, and he said, oh, see, you came to me like a male.
Yeah.
And I was doing my best trying not to handle you like a male, but now you want to be the princess and the queen. That's how I'm trying to treat you. But now that's what you want to be. He looked me dead in my face. My tears was rolling. I was sucking out in, and he just looked at me and said, pick one, and walked out the room.
My type of man.
You pick one.
And and at that time, it was the process. That's when I started to really start to pray and see God. And I began to see that I had been emasculating men for so long, I did not know it. Even in my workplace, I help oversee 75 offices in Southern California for my corporate position. And I just went back and began to think about how I had spoke to real men. Those alpha male orcas, and I realized why they did not like me, why they treated me the way they did. I was just even going back into ministry too, when I realized I'll be at these conferences and there'll be a whole group of men, and I just walk up in the conversation and start talking, why they avoided me. It all made sense, And so, what I did? I went back and I apologized to all of those men that I emasculated, whether it was relationship or
Wow.
And that's big.
That's commendable.
That's big.
That is, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go home tonight. I'm gonna tell you, and you inspire me. I'm gonna go home and just walk in. Hey, pick one.
That's what you got to He got to pick one.
For one, I'm gonna go home and ain't nobody gonna be there.
No, you're right.
So it's easy. Yeah, pick one.
Well, you can tell yourself that in a mirror. Pick one.
Yeah, you're right. That was I told myself to pick one.
I got a quick question for her. How do you think this whole emasculation of men began? Where do you think is the root of it? What started it?
I think it's from the place where we have, first of all, it's not like it used to be back in the days when we were raised. There was there was 2-parent home where the father and the mother were there to raise the children, whether it was female or male. I had that with my grandparents, and I think because I think that's kind of like the root of it. And a lot of we ended there now. It evolved to a lot of single mothers, raising the children on their own. Them having to be in survival mode, take care of everything, do it all, and it puts them in that place where they feel like, hey, this is who I am, and what you get is what you see. And I think it actually started from the breakup of the homes and stuff, because most of the time with my grandfather, he worked, he brought the check home to my grandmother, and she took care of things. But a lot of times we want to be equal to men as well. We wanted to be equal to them. And I think that all has a lot to do with that.
I think it started well before that. You guys, that was a great answers and text. Garden.
Right.
Garden of Eden.
The Garden of Eden. That old snake said, hey, don't listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
He just don't want you to be smart. Eat that apple.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't even know if it's apple, but the fruit, it started there.
Yeah.
And then you can go on to Proverbs, and it tells you in Proverbs that, that I would rather dwell in the desert than live with this
cantankerous woman.
Yeah,
cantankerous woman.
Cantankerous on the roof, on the corner of the roof.
Yeah.
I would venture to say, for me, the way I see it in the practical sense, is when after World War II, when a lot of African American soldiers came back.
World War II.
It doesn't matter. So when they came back, you had a lot of women that entered the workforce and then turned around. And when you came back, a lot of African American soldiers had nothing but black women that had jobs. Then you also have the law for it wasn't the Fair Housing Act that wrote it, but if a black man was in the house, you couldn't be on welfare or get any kind of welfare or any kind of assistance. So it encouraged, or better yet, it incentivized a lot of African American women to not have the black men in the house. And then you also had school to prison pipeline, which was kind of encouraging from high school to prison. Then you had the crack pandemic. So there was always been a constant attack on African American men. So as a result, black women were incentivized, also encouraged, and also sustained with all aspects of that. If the black man was going out of the house, that's the logical component of the house or the home.
Totally agree.
And then you have they're getting paid through the dope dealers. The ballers were the ones getting all the men that went to jail. They women were going to the dope dealers. They were getting their hair done, their nails done, and things of that nature. And as a result, people are still trying to hold on to this same mentality now. They want men that can take them to dinner. They want men that can get their hair, nails done at X, Y, and Z, boob job, butt lifts, and all that.
You're talking about in the 80s, yeah.
But I'm talking about how it transcends.
I know, but I'm saying
now.
I lost to a lot of them in the 80s. Boy, the dope
we
was good guys.
Hey,
we was good guys like, baby, I love you. I got the flowers in my hand and the candy and all. They didn't want nothing to do with that.
Speak for yourself.
I think a lot of it happened
you
when
was on the other side. You was him.
A lot of it happened when, a lot of us came back from war. We thought we could do well, and we weren't able to even sustain to the income of a lot of our sisters. They had housing and money. I think it made it a little bit more difficult, and it just snowballed from there. What's your views on that?
Yes, I totally agree. That's, you put it in the exact words. You're absolutely correct. And I totally agree with you. Because when you go back to Adam and Eve, if you go through the Bible, there were some women that respected the home, and there were some where nothing. You can't actually take one scripture and let it be for every woman in the Bible, because it was not for every woman in the Bible. So when you look at Adam and Eve, you also look at the families as well. But then you also, when you get over to Timothy, you look at the silly women too. So you kind of had pretty much basically the same thing. And with Adam and Eve, you never, and even if you research the Word of God, I've never really seen, and it may be, I'm just saying, where a woman actually emasculated a man. Now, they may do things that they shouldn't do or take over, but definitely like the emasculating that's going on now, as according to the Word of God, I haven't seen that really a whole lot in the Word of God. Now, them sometimes making decisions that they shouldn't make, of course.
Yeah, and you're right. And the laws of the land prohibited it, especially back in the days, if they even had a voice to be cantankerous.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See how I use that word again, cantankerous. You see that? Who you think is the smartest one here tonight?
Definitely don't start that. All y'all smart.
Yeah, Trevor gets the smarter one. See, he got the little awards on it, little medals on his colors. Yes. That's why he's talking about the war in the 40s.
Right.
The war in the he's decorated. That's my man.
Always long-winded.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you think women can do now to revert from where the rabbit hole that they went down?
Well, the first thing is go ahead.
Do you think they need a certain training, or
no?
What can be
Well,
done?
the first thing they got to do is realize it's a problem. Because if you don't think it's a problem, I don't care how many trainings you go to. I don't care how many lessons or how many, because like with me, I didn't think anything was wrong with me. I thought I was like Lady Flo. Everybody loved me. I was good, and so I did not see it. But when I recognized it and a light bulb clicked on, then I had to realize that I was, first of all, a real man. My husband, he put me in a safe space. I can be strong, go out, be dominant, conquer the world. But now when I pull up something I've never, ever been able to do before, he comes open the door for me. When he opens the door for me, I'm probably already in tears. I've never done that in front of anyone. I'm allowed to be a lady. I am allowed to be a lady. I am allowed to be a little girl. I am allowed to walk in my femininity. And now I don't look at it as a weakness.
Thank you.
And I commend both of you all for that, because by you saying that, when you have a woman that's in power, business, single parent home, maybe raising males, we get to where you have to be stern, you have to be tough, you have to do those things, and then you go to work, and if you over a department or several departments, you have to do it there as well. But when a man come into your life, that's when, because just like you were saying, the woman I'm with, same thing, strong, over departments, raised 4 boys. And it's times where I say, hey, hold up. I'm not your child. I'm not your employee. Pull it back, and it had to be.
Well, she told us a little bit. Like sometimes you kind of get in line, Kevin.
Get in line. I will, but see,
you don't wear
but look,
pants all the time.
this
You
is
don't
the
wear the
thing.
pants all the time. This is what I'm saying.
Hold on. No, but look, once that's understood that I am the man, and that you may have to pull back and recognize that I am the man, it will be easier for us if you come to us, or well, babe, let's not do it that way, or let's not handle it that way. Then you give that to them, because just like she said, with the opening of the door, all of that.
Yeah, my thing is you have to invoke that feeling in me.
Right.
It shouldn't be just, hey, you just gotta do this and you gotta do that. Like, no, make me
right.
Opening your door.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say that as well, to pick up, and then I don't tote groceries in the house. When I get home, I call, let them know I arrived. I don't do any of those things. I've been so used to lifting, moving furniture, and doing all this stuff, but he lets me know I don't have to do that. But one thing to what you were saying is, what I've realized is you can get more out of the male that you're with in your femininity than you can with actually being this, coming up and standing bold. Right. Even my husband, if he is having a day where he's like, and now I stop. I mean, I really studied the lion and the lioness, and I am a lioness, because I can. Sometimes it all depends on me on how, and it depends on how he responds, And so if he's having one of those days and he, and I sit now and I don't throw my eyes up in my head, I listen, and I let him know that I'm listening to everything he's saying. I don't care how loud it is or whatever. I make sure that he knows that I have his full undivided attention. And most of the time when he finishes, I do not respond right after that. I go pray first.
Important.
I go pray, and then I'm like, hey, I'm going in the cool of the evening. And then maybe a day, maybe the next evening, I say, hey, babe, we had that conversation after I brought his dinner to him, and we sit up there, hey, we had that, and this is my take, or this is how, I felt about that, or this was my response, and we can talk about it. But we have to, as women, learn that we don't have to put fuel on the fire. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want the relationship? How bad do you want the male to be the male, and then also be able to relate to him? You have to know him. Just like you want him to know you, you have to know him the same direct way. Don't come to me telling me, oh, you got to know the way. In order to keep a man, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to make sure you can wash clothes, you got to do that. Well, if that's LeBron James, they probably already got somebody cooking. That may not be what they need. Somebody already washing their clothes.
Exactly.
So it's up to you to learn. If you love him and he is making sure that he learns you, you've got to take the same time to learn him, to see what his desires are.
Yes,
please.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead and do that, Flo.
Flo, teach a class. Can you? Yeah, I'll see
teach some femininity classes.
Yeah.
One of the things that I'm noticing is, oftentimes we're trying to do in this relationship or the dating or whatever else, we're trying to do the new thing the old way, and we kind of, it's kind of a gray area.
Like what?
For example, okay, like she said, she would even tear up if he would even open the door for her, right? So now some women don't even expect that.
No.
Whether it be dating, we used to be able to walk up to a woman and represent ourselves or whatever else. Now it's more so online or on different websites. So oftentimes we're trying to move forward in our culture, doing the new things the old way.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely.
At all. But at the same token, we gotta find somebody that also has or that shares the same value system. And once we get to know that person, we can grow with that. That's just
You're absolutely correct.
Women are also more incentivized to abuse us. Oftentimes we like suckers, we going out, want to date, want to hook up and X, Y, and Z. And in the back of her mind, they're incentivized. You know what? We cool, but you can't move into my house. You can come over all you want to, but you can't live here. Then you got a lot of men that are being suckers. We're charming them and overdoing it and spending money that we don't have to swoon her. When in all actuality, she's going to give the cookie to whoever she wants to give the cookie
That's
to.
been since the beginning of time, though.
But why we keep doing it? If we know the rules, why do men consistently do the same thing?
Because it's innate.
Oh, okay. So if it's innate and you know the game is being played on you, why are men still playing the game?
You don't know you have to mature.
And you're putting yourself
they have to learn that. If that's not you, though,
be emasculated.
If that's not you, though, them brothers got to get to where you are.
Ourselves in a position to be emasculated.
I would never put myself in that position.
A lot of times, we put ourselves in that.
No,
listen. It's not about putting yourself in that. It's like if you're with the wrong person that wants to take advantage of you, then that's going to occur. But if you with somebody that values you and values what you bring to the table, and you being the gentleman, and some people look at a gentleman as being soft and a sucker.
Right.
But I'm just saying that doesn't make you change who that is. You just got to be with somebody who appreciate who you are.
But we also did a show on Nice Guys Finish Last.
Yeah. Okay, well, what does that have to do with what we're talking about now?
Because like her husband now is a nice guy. He get to finish first because of who he is with.
How do you
even know that?
But she said she had to.
No, she already expressed.
But it worked for them.
Go ahead, Flo.
No, go ahead, Flo. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
No, well, he is a nice guy, but he is definitely a alpha male as well. I'm really attracted to his strength as well. But he can be the gorilla when he needs to be, and then he could be a teddy bear, at home. Because one day I would tell people, like, when me and him were together, he was all sweet and loving, and so when he would walk up into, he was managing a lounge, and everybody, and I'm like, oh, he's just a teddy bear, and he looked up and he said, if I have to give them some teddy bears, then you're gonna have to deal with some of the gorilla. I said, oh yeah, he's a gorilla, because I need him to be the full teddy bear, with me. Like I said, when you were talking about, as far as the male, and I was talking about actually learning it, like this is what I see, okay? Because I didn't work on anybody else's process. I literally worked on myself. And so when I look on Facebook and I see these women, and every time you turn around, they have these great men. And every time you turn around, they got a gift. Somebody, they didn't gave them something. They didn't bought them a car. They didn't bought them a purse. They bought them a necklace. They took them to dinner. And I'm just seeing this. This is all I'm seeing, like over and over and over and over again. And it really vexes me, because I want to ask them, like, how are you showing that you appreciate what he's doing for you?
Yes.
I really want to know that, because like my husband, like I'll put on there like, hey, I flew him out. He sent me on a month vacation, but then I turn around and flew him out into 2 weeks of my vacation to show him that I appreciate what he does for me. And sometimes we think because men have it all together, but they want to be appreciated. But let me say this, not what I realize is not what you want to give them. Me, I like to give them a parties, and I was having all of these things and doing all that stuff. That's what I wanted to give him, but that's not what he desired.
Yeah, I just had a conversation about that. Love a person their way.
Yes, absolutely. So this past birthday for him, I was like, babe, we didn't really do nothing because we just came back from. He's like, that's cool. And I literally like stopped by the winery and got his favorite wines and stuff. And I bought a massive amount so he wouldn't have to buy for about at least a month, and put those in the trunk and stuff. And it was like I had gave him the newest Mercedes that had come out. He said, this is what I want. This is something I can use. This is not what you wanted me to have. It's, something like that was really, towards me and what I wanted. So it
was more personal. And that's the thing that, women love all that extravaganza type stuff. We're basic like that. And certain little things, if you sit up there and buy us a ticket.
Some of us.
But I'm just saying, like, buy us a ticket
I like
to my favorite. Well, okay.
I like some.
All right. Well,
go ahead and buy me the new Mercedes.
If you buy us some tickets to go see my favorite team play or something like that, that's like it's more personal. So, I guess Mercedes will be more personal with Kanoom and and I mean,
yes.
those things are cool, man. You tripping now?
Not necessarily. It just depends on you got to know the person,
right?
And like Trevor said, you love them their away. See, I gave you credit, Trevor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's kind of like I was actually counseling this couple. And he's Caucasian, and his fiance is African American. And he was like, she just walking around like she get a best gift, like it's always a competition, and like it's always a this and that. And he was like, well, she got me tickets to go. His favorite team, I think it was the Cleveland Browns. And he's like, she got me tickets to go to to the game. But I don't know how many and she's like, I'm the best gift giver. I'm a better gift giver to you. I know you flew me to Hawaii and all this, but I'm the best gift giver. He said, well, first of all, when I got there, I spent almost $1,500 on you once we got to the game. And on top of that, when I told you I love the Cleveland Browns, I don't know how many times I've told you that I hated going to the game. So why did you buy me a ticket?
Pay attention
to the game. Like, I hate the crowds. I hate the maneuvering around. I hate the parking or Ubering or having to wait. Yeah. And you knowing this, like, you the best gift giver, but how many times, even when I'm watching it at home, how much I tell you I love it. Why? You could have just went and got a room or something, and we just could have watched the game in our stocks and whatever. So it's really, like I said, it's each individual, the male and the female, must pay attention to learn the one that you're with. That's the bottom line. And be willing to. I don't call it submissive. Both of you, if you really want it, you're going to begin to compromise.
Okay, so
a woman that's submissive.
Okay, for sure.
Yes.
My God. Oh my goodness.
Submissive to me. And she will get a lot from me if she is submissive.
So what do you think it is that some women find beneficial in emasculating men? Because there oftentimes that happens. Well, what is it? What causes it?
See, like I said, with me, a lot of times you don't even know that's what you're doing. And then we take our past loves and bring them into new love. And so you're loving that individual with past loves, meaning past hurts, whatever the male did from you when you really loved him, and all of it. There are several different reasons as to why women emasculate men. And I see a lot of times like, oh, you're not going to do that to me, and you're not going to tell me what to do and how to, because most of the time we feel like that man is trying to change us from being ourselves, that he is trying to be our daddy. Well, then stop calling him daddy. Then every time you give, oh, I got to call daddy. No, that's because you didn't have a father figure sometimes in your life. I found out that a lot of women that are so comfortable with calling men daddy, it's most of the time those that did not have a father figure in their lives. You look at those young ladies that had their fathers in their lives the entire time, and they love their daddy. Oh no, you never get called daddy.
Yeah, not never.
It's called
I was gonna say.
And so what that female doesn't realize is she's trying to fulfill something in her childhood. And so that man will never equal up to what she's lost. And so since she's trying to fulfill that, she doesn't know who he is. So even when she lashes out, she's lashing out from the left out, that missed the daddy's love. Does that make sense?
It complete sense. This in the same manner that she calls you daddy while you in the midst of making love, she will call you motherfucker and everything else when y'all arguing. All the hate and the hurt that she has for her daddy.
Because all of that is emotional. It's all emotional. It's not really.
I don't mind her calling me motherfucker.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I ain't taking that punch
over here. You
that might be you son.
That might be a good thing.
Yeah.
Get over here.
Especially when
Man, what did he do? What did
motherfucker, you showed your ass tonight. Yeah. So motherfucker is good.
But Flo, what tidbits can you give women to not emasculate so much? Like what can they do? Did you?
Yeah. All three of y'all went into.
Wow.
Well, that makes you the
oddball. Left, right, left.
Yeah.
But Flo, what tidbits can you? I know they could go see a therapist or whatnot, but what can a woman do to awaken her feminine prowess and where she would get the man that she truly wants?
Exactly. I would say the main thing is going to have to start with self before you can go out and even try to change something. You've got to get to the root of what's within you. And like I said before, first you have to feel like it's a problem, because there's probably a lot of women out there listening now that do not agree with me. And, it's okay, because I'm like this. Everyone is in.
We on your side. If we agree with you, we already said there's room on the ballot for you. Matter of fact,
but every woman is, every individual is entitled to their own opinion. But what I realized, but they have to realize that, is this what I'm doing? Am I really? You're not allowing. Sometimes you're not allowing. You say, he's not a man. He's not this. Well, first of all, you didn't allow him to, because you came in and you took over everything, because you were so used to doing that in your everyday life. And now you've handicapped him and you mad at him, but you shouldn't be mad at him. You should be mad at yourself, because you went on and went to work and left him with your car to ride the streets all day. You the one that allowed him to lay up on the couch and watch TV all day, and then you took the kids to daycare so then he could lay around and chill with his boys all day.
But you can't really blame all of that, because he's just a good man in a bad situation, Savannah.
No, well, wait, hold up now. Some are don't play. Don't play. Let's keep it for real. We know that there are some men, just like all women are not the same, all men are not the same. But what we have to know is, too, as women, a lot of things is we allow those men that do want to take advantage of us to take advantage of us, because we want it so bad. And then when we get upset, then we want somebody to feel sorry for us. And I'm like, baby, the first time, okay, but now it's all on you, because you got a choice. Either you're going to leave or you're going to stay. It's that simple. And you've got to decide. And if you keep bringing it back, and he's been with 50 other women while you working, he riding the girls around in my car. Okay, I don't want to hear that the second and third time. That's you. That's your low self-esteem, because you feel like that's all that you're worthy of. So so I just that right there, it just stops. Absolutely right there, because a lot of times it's what we have allowed maybe men that were not real men to do to us, and then empowers us to emasculate that man, and we think that we're empowered to do that.
Yeah, and that goes back to what Irv was said when Trevor was said, these men are still, they're allowing it, because if you don't want a woman to do that to you, then you can change your situation. You can change the woman. Find you somebody that is going to appreciate you. Just like Trev and I say all the time, we way too good at goodbyes. I'm not about to sit here and be abused in any kind of way.
Have the good gift of goodbye, and have and I would say to ladies, and men as well, let my yes. It's harder for me to give a yes than it is to give a no, because once I say yes, then whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, or whatever it is, it becomes my problem too.
Wow.
So,
Oh,
my yeses are that's in business, because these are things that I just learned. I was yes, and I had everybody's stuff to do and not enough time to do my stuff. I was all over the place. I was losing clients at one time because I had just too many things to do. And my yes is way harder, much more harder than my no is easy. But my yes, you should feel privileged if I give you a yes in anything that I do.
Well, Lady Flo, I want to thank you on behalf of Spitt'n Pollaseedz for joining us tonight and give us your tidbits and your wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate you.
Yes. We all appreciate you.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, we all appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I took some takeaway from this show is pick one. I can't wait to get home. Pick one.
Don't you get in trouble. You get in trouble.
Rehearse it. You're going to keep rehearsing it until you get you one.
Thank you for sharing this time with us.
Yes. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
This brings us to the real spit portion of the show. This show was very impactful, and I would have appreciated more phone calls and to hear the insight of quite a few of the viewers. We, as men in society or socially, oftentimes we're seen at the bottom of the totem pole, and to come home to feel as if we're at the bottom of the totem pole in the house. We come after the wife, after the children, but yet we're the one that's sustaining and upholding everything. Oftentimes it's very debilitating as well as insulting, especially when we have to hear the mouth and we have to hear the ridicule, criticism, and the browbeating of everyone else in the family when we're the ones that are trying to sustain the family. Unfortunately, there are some women that earn more and believe that they're valued more in the home or in a relationship. I'll say this, and I think we all stand on this as men and from Spitt'n Pollaseedz. People will only treat you the way you allow them, and we ain't standing for it.
Amen.
People will only treat you the way you allow them. So whenever you see a stern gentleman, don't confuse that with a pushover. A stern gentleman is someone that's not mean, but also not too nice. We as men have to stand our ground. We also have to stand on our views and our values. And if you don't respect it, like Kevin said earlier, we way too good at goodbye. A high-valued man is way too good at goodbye because he knows his value and he knows his worth. He also knows what he will stand for, and he wouldn't sit and take no shit. So if you find a high-valued man, a man that is worthy of your time, money, and energy, also consider that as an investment, because that man can turn around and probably love you more than you could ever understand or ever know, because our job is to love you and your job is to respect us. If you can't respect us, then Heisman Trophy, see you, bless you, bye. Till next Spitt'n Pollaseedz.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Sound like you believe that.
Learn to love us.
See, that's why them pay the gumbo guy. He ain't back.
He ain't back.
Respect us.
Did he call
Learn
you?
to respect us.
Better than the rest gumbo, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he watching Spitt'n Pollaseedz?
Hey, bro. Right now.
Where our gumbo?
Better than the rest gumbo.
You got the money.
Yeah, you got the money, boy. That boy that walked out with over $100 out of us. Come on back with our food now.
Are you just like the rest?
Good show.
Yes, sir.